Hey everyone. So I wanted to make a video about all the changes that they did to Mercy this season because god damn, they really went for some really odd choices that I don't think anybody saw coming. And didn't touch either of the things anybody was like even complaining about, which is mainly her damage boost and her res. Or did they? I actually think they did nerf both of those things, but indirectly and most likely inadvertently. But yeah, first let's go through the changes and we'll go through it because I don't even necessarily think this is a nerf. It might be a little too soon, but there's a lot of nuance, as in people will be able to get their ultimate a lot faster by focusing on lower HP targets to heal because of her new like boost mechanic. But yeah, first let's go through the changes. I'll go by them like real fast because I'm pretty sure everybody already knows. So the big change, the most controversial change is the change to Guardian Angel, where now the cooldown is increased to 2.5 seconds from the original 1.5 second, and holding the backward directional input and canceling the ability with jump now moves 20% slower. The next change is the Caduceus staff, Caduceus, whatever, the Caduceus staff. The healing per second is reduced from 55 to 45, and healing is increased by 50% for allies under half their HP. And then lastly, her passive changes. Regeneration passive removed, and this isn't the regeneration passive that all support characters have. She already had her own that kind of stacked on top of it. So she still has the support character regeneration passive, but it's been replaced with sympathetic recovery. So Mercy heals herself for 25% of healing that she does with her Caduceus staff. So those are the changes. Kind of went through them really quick. So I do want to say overall, outside of the Guardian Angel changes, I think these changes push Mercy in the right direction. I do think I can see what they were going for. And don't worry, I will talk a lot about the major problems I kind of foresee about the Guardian Angel changes. But first, let's talk about the good. I think the way they changed her healing and passive really rewards Mercy for jumping from teammate to teammate, always healing the ones that need it, taking the risky dives to the front of the line to heal a nearly dead teammate instead of just pocketing one person, in the back or like letting others die. Your healing is better when the target is low, which means that she heals herself more by focusing on people in need. You get a sort of tankiness when you're healing, which disincentivizes damage boost, which is still very controversial. And since you heal by healing others, it mitigates the risk of jumping into the front lines. Now you know you're going to be getting healed if you're putting in the work. So it's like a pseudo tankiness. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think this is pushing Mercy in the right direction. It's punishing pocketing by lowering the amount of healing and survivability you get the harder you pocket someone. They actually designed her to be rewarding by moving around so much, which is, I think that's a great thing. But that's where the problem kind of comes in. So they reward you for doing things that require you to move around a lot more instead of pocketing. But at the same time, they nerf her ability to move around. So to reach those rewards, we need mobility. If they designed her to be so much more proactive, now that she's, jumping from person to person, she needs her mobility to do it. Mercy doesn't have a get out of free jail card like Moira or Bap, and she can't fight like Zen or Brig. Like the way they designed her incentivizes more risk taking, so that would also kind of translate to kind of lowering her survivability more. Like if you don't have the skill to, that can be like a skill gap thing. So first, let's dissect the Guardian Angel change a bit more. And one of Mercy's main attributes was her mobility. Now, don't get me wrong, I hated how hard it was to kill Mercy. Like, so I get why they did this, because she was zipping around, and Mercy after a certain rank simply just doesn't die. Like, I've played games where no matter how many times other people on the team die, let's say everybody has died like 3 or 4 or 5 times, Mercy could very normally just never have died. She would just be zipping around from player to player, pocketing from behind corners. Like, it was ridiculous. But even with how impossible it was to kill her, I don't think anyone really complained that much about her mobility. I feel like these changes, this increase to her cooldown, might feel horrible. They almost double the cooldown, so you're really gonna feel it. As a Doomfist main, who got their mobility completely, gutted before, like several times, I can sympathize with you guys. Like well, what I think is gonna be happening. Like if they wanted to nerf her mobility, they could have just returned it back to what Guardian Angel was in Overwatch 1, right? Where doing that, the super jump tech was like something that actually required a lot more effort to do. So, they could just brought it back to that, or at least just maybe why not just slow down the speed of her, of how fast she travels when she's doing her Guardian Angel, because it's been like this for like 6 years and nobody's ever had a problem with it. But yeah. They could just they could just keep the cooldown at 1.5 seconds and just reduce the speed. Like, I don't know why it had to be such an extravagant change, because I think the low cooldown, the 1.5 cooldown, is necessary for her flow, and we'll get into that. Like with this new cooldown, if you fly to a soul and res them, you have to stand there for like a second before you can just kind of fly away. This is a big nerf to her res, because resing someone is essentially suicide now. Before, you could just fly their soul, kind of res them, and then kind of turn on and fly back, and they're kind of zipping around. So, but now you're stuck there before you can go, and that 1 second, is normally is normally all it takes, because so many times I'm fighting a Mercy and then she has like maybe 25 or like 30, 40 HP left. I'm just like, oh, if I could just get that last hit on her, damn it. So yeah, anyways, say goodbye to that. Like, unless you are in Valkyrie mode or resing someone who you're already pocketing, it's way too risky, right? Because if you're pocketing somebody, they're already there. So if they do die while you're on them, the risk isn't that high. But yeah, it's already been pretty hard resing, like in general, even at higher ranks. That's what a lot of Mercy players have been saying. Like it's not that easy of a thing to do. But maybe that's why they gave her that new burst healing mechanic. They knew that there will be a lot less res, so she needed more healing. So there you go. And on top of that, the way support characters are designed in Overwatch 2 is that they're either good fighters or they're good at escaping. Mercy is not a fighter, and now her escape has been gutted. Plus, people don't protect support characters anymore. There's like almost no, peeling isn't anywhere near the way it was in Overwatch 1. So Mercies are really going to feel what the other support characters have been feeling at the beginning of this game's release. But now I will say that they did nerf her damage boost in a way. How? Well, because of her nerfed mobility, she will be forced to heal a lot more in order to heal herself, because she might be taking more damage. So what does that mean? Less damage boosting. And knowing Blizzard, they didn't do this on purpose. It was probably just an accident. I'm just kidding. They probably did do this on purpose. But yeah, I think that's, instead of nerfing her damage boost, they completely disincentivized it, which makes me wonder, why is it even there then? Now it would, I don't know, would it just feel like a tagged on ability now? I don't know. But yeah, now let's focus more on the healing aspect. So the changes to her healing, honestly, it's a buff. I don't see this as not a buff. She finally has a form of burst healing, especially with how much damage there is in the game. You can easily get one-shotted or comboed like instantly. Well, not with Roadhog anymore, but well, even Roadhog still packs quite a punch. But well, they also did nerf Junkrat a bit. But either way, the game still has a bunch of damage, and you find yourself dying really quickly. I don't know if it was needed though, because yes, she didn't have burst healing, but she did have her res, which kind of made up for it. But then again, they completely disincentivized res. So it's not like they nerfed res; they just disincentivized it. But anyways, this will be interesting to see. Hey everyone, I'd like to interrupt this video to remind you to like and leave a comment. It's the best thing you can do to a video so that YouTube increases its reach, and I'd really like to keep growing this community, especially since we have so many good discussions and debates in the comment sections, and I do read and try to reply to every single comment. So please like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you like it. But yeah, for the algorithm, please like and comment. So now her new regeneration mechanic will, one, make her unkillable during her ult. She's just a beefy ass tank now when she uses her ult, and she's gonna have a lot more. And two, I guess it'll make up for her decreased mobility and kind of force her to heal more. The staff doing less damage makes sense due to the new passive, though at least she's able to sustain herself with it for a little bit. And I just want to reiterate, she still has the passive that all the support characters have, so don't worry. She's I don't know, she has so much more healing happening to her now. I don't even, yeah, this will be interesting. This is actually very interesting, Blizzard. Yeah, this is I'm very interested to see how this works out, because yeah, the mobility's down, but she gets so much more healing if she's actually healing, and it takes away, it disincentivizes the things everybody hates, which is the damage boost and the res. So I don't know, this could have been like a fucking 300 IQ play by Blizzard, if I'm being honest. Yeah, we'll see, guys, we'll see. So I could see a world where, you know, it kind of incentivizes only heal botting, or maybe even makes her even more timid and just stays in the back even more. Like either way, it feels very clunky, but it's probably just because it's new. Specifically with her movement, everything else makes sense to me. But she will be damage boosting and shooting a lot less, in my opinion. So, you know, again, why is it even there then? Like, I feel like a more major rework could have been done. But yeah, I don't know, man. Now, hopefully Blizzard's statistics are right about this. Like they nerfed her healing and movement instead of her res and her damage boost. So yeah, anyways, this was kind of wild, but yeah, let's see how it goes. So don't forget to leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and I love you.